put the seat back and I had to see why the alone mama wanted stuck in the swallow me whack ties.
Welcome to the Check-in Report. I am your humble host, True and Living. Thank you guys for joining me. Today's topic, Cardi B thinks that it's disrespectful to be called and to be labeled a Mexican. If you don't know, Cardi B, Bronx rapper, and I'm gonna shoot her a little bit of bail because I have noticed this in the Hispanic community, that they think that it's demeaning to call each other Mexican, right? In New York, you mostly got Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, you got a few El Salvadorians, but it's not a lot of Mexicans, right? It's more so Puerto Ricans, Dominican, and this is where Cardi's B, this is where she's from. And I have noticed when I used to grow up, because I grew up in a Hispanic community, I did notice that they used to call each other Mexican in a demeaning fashion. And I never really got the whole, the whole Mexican demeaning thing. What's wrong with being hardworking? Why is that a stereotype, to be a hard worker? If you have a business, if you have a company, if you need quality work done, if you have somebody on your team, why wouldn't you want them to be a hard worker? So I never got that stereotype in terms of Mexican, but I just find it irritating that a woman that has stripped for her who has been sliding up and down the poles, raps about, sexually objectifying herself, all while being a mother, false feminist, but she finds being labeled a Mexican demeaning and disrespectful. I don't understand that. First of all, Viva la Mexico! Warning. Salute to the great people of Mexico, the hard-working people of Mexico, the beautiful people of Mexico, right? Rich in culture. The people of Mexico are rich in culture. Why is it demeaning? And they're proud people as well. Why is it demeaning to be labeled a Mexican? I don't understand the gripe. And she tried to correlate it to, when Jamaicans, when they get called Haitian, they think that's offensive. When Cape Verdeans get called she tried to correlate it, trying to say, well, when other cultures get called this, they find it offensive. And I'm just like, no, Cardi B. If a black person calls me Haitian or Jamaican, I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be offended that you mistake me, because guess what? There are black people in Jamaica, in Haiti, that possibly look like me, right? I'm not going to get offended that you may label me a Haitian, or you may label me a Jamaican, or you may label me, or maybe an African, because I understand that there are people that look similar to me. And there are great people in that culture. There are intelligent people, wise people, beautiful people in that culture. Why is it so offensive to be labeled a Mexican, Cardi B? We have to talk about it. We have to get into it. That is my subject of today. Salute to Sinclair. I see Sinclair's in the building. Salute to Fred 50 Washington. Salute. Yeah, I'm riding for the Mexican people today. Here you have this woman who stripped In her youthful years, she was sliding down a pole when she was she I don't want to talk too crazy about her because you know how Cardi B get down with her lawyers. But let's just say she was stripping, right? And I would think that you would find that disrespectful. People bringing up your stripping past, so people bringing up your past when you used to slide up and down that pole, or when you used to allegedly drug men in a gentleman's club, right? I would think that you would find that demeaning, people bringing that up. No, 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 no. You think being labeled a Mexican is disrespectful. And we're going to play her video very soon. Shout out to Mexico. I got me a Corona. I got me a Corona tonight. Salute to Viva la Mexico, you know? But let's get to the video in question where, she's trying to nigga-splain this thing, if you will. She's trying to nigga-splain this thing, about her feeling like it's disrespectful to be labeled and to be called a Mexican. Let's get into it.
I feel offended that people call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican.
Cardi B, there are Mexican people that look like you, have the same skin tone. Y'all think all Mexicans look alike? There are dark-skinned Mexicans. There are light-skinned Mexicans. There are Mexicans that look Dominican. There are Mexicans that look Haitian. There are Mexicans that look African. Why are you so offended that, people are just saying that you look Mexican or possibly, confusing you for a Mexican? I don't see the big deal. If a white person labeled me a Haitian, if he said, "Oh, True and Livin, are you Jamaican? Are you Haitian?" I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be offended. Oh, that's disrespectful and demeaning. It's disrespectful to call me a Haitian. It's disrespectful to call me a Jamaican. It's disrespectful to call me an African. I understand. There are people that look like me over there. I'm not offended. No, I'm not Jamaican. I'm not Haitian. I'm a foundational black man, FBA. That's what I am. But no, I'm not going to get offended that people may mistake me for a Jamaican or a Haitian or even a Dominican, because I understand that there are Dominican people that look like me over there as well. Why are you so offended? Why are you so offended that people are labeling you a Mexican, Cardi B? Let's continue.
My nationalities don't have the same cultures. We speak the same language. We have different dialects. We don't eat the same.
Let me stop you right there, Cardi B. Let me stop you right there. And this is the misconception of a lot of Hispanic people, and it's really sad to see. Hispanic people, not all of them, because some of them understand what it really is, but Hispanic people are under the misconception that Hispanic or Spanish, we can get into that. A lot of them are under the misconception that that's a race. Hispanic is not a race. Let's get into your background. And most Hispanic fall into either one or two backgrounds. It's what? Spaniard, African, indigenous. These are the homogenous things that make up Hispanic people. There's no Hispanic race. You're either indigenous, you're either African, or you're either Spaniard, or you're either a mix of all three. Sinclair says, I'm offended by the giraffe in the background. Oh yeah, I see she has like a little giraffe in the background. Yeah, I see that. I see that too. I'm just realizing that too. I didn't realize that this whole time I was yapping. Um, Fred 05 says, Fred 09 says, as an American Mexican, we Latinos as a whole disown this broad for her being the disgrace she's brought upon herself as a woman. Her nationality is 304. I'm not mad at you, Fred, for taking that stance. You know, I'm not mad at you. Here, this woman was a stripper, sliding up and down. You know, fresh out of high school. She said, "Forget about a college education. Forget about learning a trade. Forget about working my behind to to be something in life." Right? She said, "No, no, no. Fresh out of high school." And go straight to the pole, the stripper pole, working in Sue's Rendezvous and all the smutty, disgusting strip clubs of New York City. She doesn't find that offensive, but she thinks being labeled a Mexican, and shout out to the beautiful people of Mexico, right? She thinks that it's disrespectful to be called a Mexican. What's wrong with being labeled a Mexican? Mexicans they have beautiful culture, beautiful food. They're rich in culture, rich in food, and again, I have to talk about the stereotype that they put on Mexican people about the hard working. I think that's a misnomer. What's wrong with being hardworking? What's wrong with being labeled a hard worker? I tell you right now, if I had a company right now and you told me, hey, do you want to employ some hard workers, or do you want to employ some people that don't work hard? I want to employ the people that work hard. What's wrong with the stereotype of Mexicans being hard work? I always had an issue with that. There's nothing wrong with being a hard worker. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of New York Hispanics, I've seen this. They have taken this stance of, being called a Mexican is disrespectful. Being called labeled a Mexican is disrespectful. I don't see it. I don't see it. Sinclair says, like, subscribe, turn on the notification, join the chat, share the content. That was a warning.
Warning, 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 warning.
And it's mostly, the people from the Dominican or the Dominican community, the Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena. They have taken this stance of, oh, I'm not Mexican, don't call me Mexican, and yada, yada, yada. Why can't you be cool with your Mexican brothers and sisters? Why is it such a negative thing? Why? I just don't get it. But let's continue. It's the same aspect of black people being not identifying with other black people around the culture. Like me, I don't identify as an African, right? I don't identify as an African, but I understand that I could look like an African. I understand that there are people that look like me over there. I understand that we all have this melanin in common. We have black people in all sectors of the world. And I wouldn't get offended if someone said, you look like a Nigerian, true and living. You look like you from Ghana, true and living. You look like you from South Africa, true and living. Or you look like you from Haiti, true and living. I wouldn't get offended at that because I understand that there are black people that look like me over there. Let's continue though.
Same food, we don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian.
First of all, don't put this on black people. We don't suffer from your colorism. We don't suffer from your identity crisis, Cardi B. We don't suffer from it. We don't suffer from it. Black people, we have a clear understanding. We understand that, a foundational black man may be different from a Haitian. A Haitian may be different culturally from a Jamaican. A Jamaican may be culturally different from a Cape Verdean. A Cape Verdean may be different from a person living in Ghana. We understand that we may have different cultures, but we all understand that we have this melanin in common. We all understand that if it's four of us, if it's one foundational black man, one Haitian in the passenger seat, and two Africans in the back seat, and the police pull us over, we understand what it is. We understand what it's to be black in America. Right? And we have differences in our cultures, and sometimes, I'll be honest, we have issues with each other. Foundational black Americans, we have our issues with the Caribbeans. We have our issues with, people that are living on the continent of Africa. We have our issues with them, but we all understand that we have this melanin in common. Now, why can't you link up with your Mexican brothers and sisters, that are embracing their Hispanic roots, embracing their Afro Latino roots, and their Spaniard roots, and understand, and not be offended that you represent that? Why are you so offended of Hispanic people labeling you as Mexican? Let's continue, though. Let's continue.
Call Guyanese a Trini, and you told me how they're gonna feel. And now
I disagree 100%. She should have kept it in the Hispanic realm, because I've heard that before. In the Hispanic community, yes, if you call a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, Mexican, they feel offended. But most black people, whether you be from Africa, whether you be from the Caribbean, whether you be a foundational black man like myself, we're not tripping off of that. We're not tripping off of, oh, you look like you may be Jamaican. You look like you may be Haitian. We're not tripping off of that, because we understand we have this melanin in common. We have this black skin in common. We have a lot of the similar traits, these big noses, these full lips. We understand we have the black features in common. So we're not tripping off of that. We're not tripping off of that like you are, Cardi B. So don't put that on the black community. We can't stand for that. We can't stand for that. Let's continue.
why do y'all don't call me a Mexican? Y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my.
What? They literally put a cowboy hat and a conquistador mustache on. What in the world? She's trying, nothing about her is authentic. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. Nothing about her. She just comes off not authentic to me. Here, you're trying to have this deep philosophical conversation in regards of not identifying as a Mexican, that you're not Mexican, you are a Dominican woman from New York City, and you're trying to have this serious conversation, but you got all of these filters on your face that that you're on TikTok and you have it just looks ridiculous, Cardi B. You're trying to have this serious conversation, but why you got all these filters? Why can't you just make a video, go on IG Live and not put these filters on, or not allow your fans to put these filters on your face and have this serious conversation and have this serious dialogue that you want to have? No, you want to sit on IG Live with your fans and have them put filters on your face. Come on. Are you trying to have a serious conversation or not? Sinclair says she identifies as a felon. Sinclair also says, I found when you have zero conviction, every thing offends you. I found when you have zero conviction, everything offends you. Listen, Cardi B offends me. She really does. You know, just her whole demeanor, the fact that she could find people calling her Mexican offensive, but not find stripping as a young woman offensive, not find the things that she raps about offensive, you know, and or being a mother and still sexually objectifying herself and fully embracing the misogynistic nature of hip hop, you know, instead of, you know, being a respectable woman. I find it challenging for me to even like this woman. She, you know, she hops on the internet, you know, sounding like a bumbling idiot all the time she's on an interview. Okay. The worst thing I hate about, let me not say that word. Let me not say the H word. The worst thing that I have an issue with Cardi B is when she tries to talk politics. Cardi B, we don't care about your political opinions. We don't give two squirrel farts on your political views and your political opinions. We don't care. When's the new record coming out? That's all people care. That's all your fans care about. We don't care about your political opinions and stuff like that. Every time she tries to sound like an intellectual or tries to have, you know, some type of deep dialogue, she just doesn't come off serious. She comes off as a clown. She comes off as, you know, just ridiculous. Fred05 says, no offense to Dominicans. Or Dominicans. I'm just playing. I actually have some Dominicans in my family, so don't. I have some Dominicans or Dominicans in my family, so I'm just joking about that. But I see, the thing about it is this: I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic community. I didn't have a black friend until about middle school. All of my friends were Hispanic. All of my friends were Dominican, Puerto Rican, El Salvadorian. All of my friends were Hispanic. And I have seen this. I have seen this type of mentality of them thinking that, oh, to be labeled a Mexican, that's so disrespectful. Don't call me a Mexican. Don't call me that. You know, it's black and Mexican. They have an issue with being labeled black or Mexican. I've seen it before. I've seen it. They have a real time, you know, they have a real issue with that. You know, when somebody just, you know, suggesting that they may look like a Mexican or something like that. I mean, I don't see, what are you so offended by? What are you so mad about? Like, what are you having such an issue with? There are some of the most beautiful people on this planet come from Mexico. You know, they have great authors, great musicians, you know, great athletes, intellectuals, scientists that are Mexicans. Like, well, I don't understand what is so wrong with being labeled a Mexican to the point where you feel offended. If somebody said I looked Mexican, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't have an issue with it. I would correct you and say, no, I'm a foundational black man. Like, I'm not Mexican. I would correct you, but I wouldn't feel offended about it. That's my issue with Cardi B. My issue is that she feels offended that people are calling her Mexican. And I want y'all to look at this. Take a look at this. I had to bring this report up Cardi B explains why she calls herself the Trap Selena on Motorsport. Cardi B, I don't know if you know this, but Selena was Mexican. Oh, I guess it's just convenient when you want to be Mexican. Here you're calling yourself the Trap Selena on Motorsport, but when people are confusing you or calling you a Mexican, oh, you want to give all this pushback. Hold on. You called yourself the Trap Selena on Motorsport. Here you are identifying with a Mexican woman. And if you don't know, let me pull up Selena. You know, God rest her soul, Selena, a Mexican singer. I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie with Jennifer Lopez, Selena. Not Selena Gomez. Not Selena. That's a different Selena. Selena. Yeah, here she go. Right here. This Selena. This is a Mexican woman. Here you are calling yourself Selena, a Mexican woman, the Trap Selena. You wanna do all of this, nonsense. Oh, I'm not Mexican. I'm not this. I'm not that. I am not Mexican. Don't you call me Mexican. It's offensive. It's so offensive to call me Mexican. Why are you calling yourself the Trap Selena? Selena was a Mexican woman, a proud Mexican woman. A prideful Mexican woman. Salute to Selena and her family. A proud Mexican woman. But here you are talking about, don't you call me Mexican. It's disrespectful. Don't you ever call me that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hold on. Sinclair says, wait a minute. Who the heck goes to her for political information? That's the thing, Sinclair. Nobody goes to her for political information, but she has to put her 2 cents in all the time. Every time something happens political or anything on the political front, whether it be abortion, whether it be inflation, whether it be the presidential election race, she's always throwing her 2 cents in. Like somebody cares. Like the infamous Dave Chappelle comedy skit routine where he says, "What is Ja Rule? What does Ja Rule think?" Nobody cares what Ja Rule thinks at this critical time. Nobody cares what Cardi B thinks at this critical time. There's real things happening on the political front. We don't care about your thoughts, Cardi B. Keep your political thoughts to yourself. Nobody goes to her for her political opinion, but she continues to give her 2 cents on things. Nobody cares about it. Fred 509 says, "Hell nah, Selena is a legend." Exactly, Selena is a legend. That's a fact. But she was on Motorsport calling herself Selena. Why was she calling herself Selena, Trap Selena, if she didn't want to be identified as a Mexican woman? Fred 509 says, "Dirty bitch in my Bernie Mac voice." Exactly. Let's get back to what she was saying in this clip.
Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a Mexican. So it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that. I feel offended that people call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican.
Why are you so offended? Why can't you just politely say, "No, I'm not Mexican. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Mexican people, their culture, where they come from. But respectfully, I'm not Mexican. And I know that there's some Mexican people that look like me there, but no, I'm not Mexican." Why can't you just say that? Why can't you just say that, Cardi B? It looks like it bothers you. It looks like you're disturbed to even have for someone to even have the notion to compare you to a Mexican. And let me actually pull this up, because I pulled up Selena. Let me show you guys, dark-skinned people in Mexico, because a lot of people don't understand that, there's dark-skinned people in these Hispanic countries, dark skinned Mexicans. There's people blacker than me in Mexico. Dark skinned Mexicans. There's people blacker than me in Mexico. You can't tell me that this brother right here and this child right here don't got no African ancestry in their blood. There's people in my family that look like these two brothers right here and that sister behind them. There's people in my family that look like these people, right? So and this dark skin, like look at this child right here. Look at this child right here. Black people erased from history. These are people from Mexico. These are people that are dark skinned people. Cardi B. Look at this woman. Look at this woman right here. You telling me that she doesn't look? I can literally put up a side by side picture with this woman and Cardi B. This woman look like she could be Cardi B's sister. Why are you offended that people are comparing you to a Mexican when there's people in Mexico that look like you? Like it's ridiculous. People need to get off the colorism. Get off of it, man. There's people that look like you in different places of the world. I'm not gonna get offended if a white person says, "Hey, you look Haitian. Are you Haitian?" I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm not Haitian, but I understand that there's people that look like me over there. You know, respect. You know." I understand that there's people that look like me in Africa. There's people that look like me in Jamaica. I'm not going to be offended that somebody, compared me to a Mexican or somebody compared me to a Jamaican or even a Dominican. There's Dominicans that look like me. Let's get back to what she was saying. But I just wanted to show y'all, like, it's dark-skinned people in Mexico. There's people darker than me in Mexico. There's people that are like, dark skin. What's it called? This woman right here. This is Amara de Negro. She's not from Mexico, but she's from, I think she's from DR. This is a black woman. She doesn't look like your quintessential light skin, dark hair Dominican. Amara de Negra, I think that's her name. I hope I'm not butchering her name. Amare. She look like she could be from West Philadelphia, Harlem, Baltimore, Atlanta, DC, definitely DC. She don't like your quintessential Dominican girl. She might have grown up in Harlem. Baltimore or something like that, or DC. People got to get off the colorism. Get off the, I'm not this and I'm not that. There's people that look like you everywhere. There's people that have the same melatonin. The people that have the same bone structure, facial structure. Why are you so offended that people are comparing you to people that, that have almost the same ancestry as you, has the same story as you? Let's get back to her thoughts again. Let's get back to that.
I'm not Mexican. My nationalities don't have the same cultures. We speak the same language. We have different.
What are you talking about, Cardi B? The Mexicans were colonized, just like the people of Dominican Republic were colonized. All of these places were colonized. You have the same culture. Indigenous people being colonized. That's the same thing that happened in Mexico. Same thing that happened in DR. You have the same culture. African ancestry. The same thing happens in Mexico. What are you talking about? You sound ridiculous.
Dialects, we don't eat the same food, we don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian Jamaican.
Come on, Cardi B. Dominicans don't eat rice. Mexicans eat rice. I don't know a Hispanic that don't eat rice, and I'm not trying to be racist. Because I'm Dominican. I'm partially Dominican. I have Dominican family members, so I have them. So don't take this the wrong way. But I don't know a lot of Hispanic people that don't have rice and be. I don't want to sound crazy, but beans. I don't know a lot of Hispanic people that don't eat those two things, man. You know, just keeping it real. I don't know a lot of Hispanic people that don't eat that. This is the common cuisine in Hispanic cultures. Mexicans eat it, Dominicans eat it, Puerto Ricans eat it, and there are similar foods that are in Dominican culture and that are in Mexican culture. So she sounds ridiculous right here. Let's continue.
Call Jamaican a Haitian. Call Guyanese a Trini. And you told me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a Mexican. So it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that.
She sounds absolutely.
I feel offended.
She sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. She sounds absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I want to salute the great people of Mexico, the beautiful people of Mexico, with a rich culture. I was actually supposed to go to Mexico this year. I wanted to go to Mexico this year with my brother, but we chose to go to somewhere else, out to Costa Rica. We're gonna probably head out to Costa Rica. But yeah, man. I mean, Mexico is a beautiful country, and they have beautiful people, great food. I don't understand why she would be so offended to be labeled a Mexican. Like, I'm not gonna. If somebody called me a Jamaican, if somebody called me a Haitian, if somebody called me African, I wouldn't be offended, because I understand there's people that look like me over there. I'm not gonna be throwing this hissy fit and go on this whole hour rant about people labeling me, mislabeling me. It's not a big deal. Excuse me. And like I said, hold on, let me just put this up, just to throw some spice on it. Oh, like I said, this is a woman, respectfully, not to throw her underneath the bus, but I mean, Cardi B, you were sliding down a pole. You were sliding down a pole for a living. Like, come on, bro. You were sliding. No disrespect to you. That was your life. You had to do what you had to do to put food on the table, to take care of yourself. I'm not knocking you for that. But at the end of the day, you think that this was more respectable than being labeled a Mexican? Are you telling me that you'd rather be labeled a stripper, shaking your little filthy hind pops in a filthy strip club? You think that that's more respectable than being labeled a Mexican? Come on. Hold on. Sinclair says, check in. The comments in her live is hysterical. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. I don't have the best eyes, Sinclair. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Because I can't blow it up on my thing. Let me try to blow it up in my thing. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna read some of the comments that she was let me blow it up in my thing. Hold on. Here we go. It's not showing her live. Let me see. It's not showing like the let me put it back on the screen. The comments in her live. You mean, oh, all right, hold on. Let me just Let me read some of the comments off of because I got this off of somebody had posted this, and I'm gonna read some of the comments that they wrote on the thing. These are some of the comments though. She ain't worth being called Mexican. She don't cook or clean. That's a good one. 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 Somebody says, but she ain't black either. I agree. Is she? I mean, she's not black neither. To be honest with you. And somebody's repeating what I'm saying. What's wrong with being Mexican? Which I agree. There's nothing wrong with being Mexican. Mexicans have a rich, beautiful culture. Great people come from the Mexican culture. It's a beautiful country. Great food. What's wrong with being labeled a Mexican? This person says because Dominicans and Ricans don't mess with Mexicans. And I'm not gonna lie, that's the sentiment that I feel because when I was growing up around Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, I kind of got the sense that they don't really rock with Mexicans like that. They don't really rock with them like that. Somebody writes, as a Mexicano, it also offends me. They tried to pin you on us. We have more class. That's pretty much what Fred was saying. Fred was saying that. Fred, shout out to Fred 509. He was saying that. Somebody else says we wouldn't claim her. Somebody said this is a funny one right here. I think this is a Mexican woman. She wrote, yeah, this is a Mexican because she put the flag. She said, I love Cardi, but she said she don't cook or clean. How can she be Mexican? That's a that's a good point. I mean, if you don't cook or clean, I mean, Mexican women, they throw down in the kitchen and they know how to clean up a house too, respectfully, not trying to be disrespectful, respectfully. So, I mean, if she doesn't cook or clean, how could she ever be Mexican? I mean, and somebody saying what I said. Well, then don't call yourself the Trap Selena. Exactly. Why was she calling herself the Trap Selena? If you didn't want to be labeled and called the Trap Selena, why, if you didn't want to be labeled that, then why are you calling yourself the Trap Selena? Fred 509 says work ethic and drive. You forget those. I agree. She doesn't have the work ethic whatsoever. I agree. That's a fact. But my issue more than anything with her is the fact that she thinks being labeled a Mexican is offensive, but drugging men and bragging about it too, that's not offensive to her. Being in high school and instead of trying to get an education, you go to the strip club and you strip in your youthful years. She doesn't find that offensive. Being a mother and dressing provocatively and rapping about, sucking people off and all of this, sexual inflamed rhymes, she doesn't find none of that, demeaning. But, being labeled a Mexican, she finds that demeaning. I have an issue with that. I truly have an issue with that. Her own, Sinclair says, her own comment section thought she was foolish. Let me go to her comment section. Hold on. Let me go to her comment section. Let me run to her page. Cardi Belcalis. Cardi Belcalis. Yeah, this woman is ridiculous, man. She's absolutely ridiculous. She hasn't dropped an album in how long, bro? I mean, when did Invasion of Privacy come out? Hold on, let me look that up right quick. When did Invasion of Privacy? This woman, she been running on fumes for years. She hasn't dropped an album in how long? Invasion of Privacy. Let me see when that came out. Invasion of Privacy. Let me look at that. Cause that was a long time ago. That had to be 2017 or not 2017, but maybe like 2019 or something like that. When did this come? 2018. That was her debut album. Her debut album came out in 2018. She still ain't dropped a sophomore album yet. Like this woman is nuts. So it's crazy. But I just wanna salute. Let me take this woman off the screen. But I just want to salute the people of Mexico. Salute the people of Mexico, the great people of Mexico, the rich culture of Mexico, the great food, the great people. It's like, Fred 509 said, great work ethic and drive. Great people that come from Mexico. And here you have this woman who made her living sliding up and down a pole. All those middle-aged men throwing those filthy dollar bills in her butt crack. She doesn't find that demeaning. All of those men in those clubs, shoving that handful of filthy dollar bills up the crack of her ass. You don't find that offensive, but you find being labeled a Mexican offensive. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Fred 509 says, thank you, sir. No problem, man. No, Mexicans, man. Listen, man. The world needs Mexicans, man. The world needs Mexicans, and Mexico is a beautiful country, man. There's beautiful people out there too, man. I don't know. I think a lot of it has deep roots in just because like I said, a lot of New York Hispanics, they have this thing where and don't get me wrong, like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they're very prideful as well. They're very prideful of their countries as well, right? But they have this thing where it's like they think that Puerto Rican is a race. They think that like Dominican is a race when they don't really know that Dominican and Puerto Rican is not really a race. Hispanic is not a race. Mexicans have more of a culture because when you're talking about the Mayan culture, stuff like that, when you're talking about stuff like that, that doesn't pertain to places like Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. They don't have that rich culture like the Mexican people have. And I just feel like, yeah, man, like, the Mayan, the Aztec culture. The Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, they don't have that type of culture. They don't have that type of thing, And it's kind of sickening the stance that she's taking with this whole, I'm offended that you're calling me a Mexican. How dare you call me a Mexican? Absolutely ridiculous. Hold on, let me see something else in regards to this woman. Hold on. Is she still with Offset? Because I remember it was a time I thought she broke up with Offset. Is she still with Offset? Is Cardi B Offset? They still together? I know he cheats on her every other day. Are they still together? Cardi B confirmed in December 2023 that she and Offset called it quits again, sharing on Instagram Live that she's been single for a minute now. Okay, so allegedly she's single. I saw in a clip somewhere where Offset was, championing her and telling her, "Yo, I told Baby she should drop that album." So I don't know. I don't know what's up with her, man. I don't know what's up with this woman, man. I truly don't. Exactly. Sinclair, no. Sinclair said the Aztecs, the Olmecs, Mayans, exactly. The Mexicans have a very rich culture, man. Very rich culture, And they was and when colonialism was happening, they was giving pushback. When colonialism was happening, in Texas and stuff like that, remember the Alamo? They was giving pushback. They wasn't just giving up land to the, to the colonizers and to the, American colonizers and stuff like that. Salute to Nelly. I see Nelly's in the building. Salute to Nelly. I see Nelly's in the building. Salute. Yeah, man. Let me actually look that up. The Mayan culture. The Mayans, man. The Mayan culture. Yeah, man. The Mayan culture, man. Yeah, man. This don't pertain to people in Puerto Rico. This don't pertain to them. The Aztecs culture. Let me look that up too. Aztecs. The Aztecas. Aztec culture. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's really the Aztecs because the Aztecs were hold on, let me actually put this up on the screen. I don't know if this is on the screen. Hold on. It's not on the screen. Yeah, because I'm looking it up right now. Because I'm reading some of it. Yeah, but I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted at this woman saying that she doesn't identify as a Mexican, and I understand she's not a Mexican, but to be disgusted that people are labeling you that, like, I don't see the big deal. But here's the Aztecs. Aztecs was a Mesoamerican culture that flourished in central Mexico in the post-classical period of 1300 to 1521. I mean, the Mexican people, they have a very rich culture, that doesn't pertain to the Dominicans. Like, that's what people, and I have to say it one more time. Let me just say it one more time. Hispanic is not a race. Let's really get into the look who I pulled up, y'all. Let me just I'm mad I pulled him up. They talking about him. Hold on. Let me take a quick detour real quick, if y'all don't mind. Because this is going viral. Nicki Minaj's husband goes viral. New sex offender pic. This is going viral right now. Nicki Minaj's husband, they posted his new sex offender pic. There it is. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. I had to take a quick detour. But man, they really got him on here. Like he literally has to take a picture every year. Every year he has to take a picture. He can't escape. He literally can't escape. He has to take a pic every single year to let people know in the community that he's there. See, they got his charges up there: attempted rape by force of fear. I mean, they got his charges up here. I mean, this is crazy. He got to take a pic every single year, y'all. That's nutty. That is nutty. Sinclair says they had the freaking calendar. The Dominicans have that. Nelly says, "Oh, Caribbean Latinos get mad AF if you call them Mexican." And that's because the Mexicans are considered to be like that N-word in the Latino community. At least that's what was told to me. I'm going to keep it so real, Nelly. I'm going to keep it so real. I'm going to keep it so real when it comes to the Hispanic community. First of all, you know, Hispanic people, they have a tendency to call themselves Spanish, right? Spanish, when in reality, Spanish is a language, right? That's my issue with a lot of Hispanic people. They have a tendency to call themselves Spanish when Spanish is a language. Spanish is a language. That's like me calling myself English. Hey, I'm English. You don't see me sitting here with a cup of tea and a biscuit talking about I'm English. I'm a foundational Black American, okay? Now, but Hispanic people have a tendency to call themselves Spanish. But if we keeping it a buck, we keeping it a hundo. If you're talking about Spanish, that regards to the Spaniards, the people of Spain. And I'm going to let you know right now, a Spaniard would spit on a Hispanic person for calling themselves a Spanish person. I'm going to keep it a buck. Because if you're talking about Spanish people, which are Spaniards, they consider Hispanic people that are from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, even Mexico, all of the South America, they consider them the N-words. If you want to keep it a buck. But you have a bunch of Hispanic people saying, I'm Spanish, I'm Spanish, no placebo. I'm Spanish. No, you're not Spanish. You're not a Spaniard. You're not a Spaniard. You don't come from Spain. You are either a Taino. This is in regards to Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. You're either a Taino, right? And we're gonna look up Taino. We're gonna do some history tonight. You're either a Taino culture. Taino. The Taino had an elaborate system of religious belief and rituals that involved worship and spirits that carved representations. They also had a complex social order. This is what Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are. You are a mix of Tainos, black slaves, black slavery, because they brought, make no mistake, they brought a lot of black people in those Caribbean areas. They brought a lot of black people to the Dominican Republic. They brought a lot of black people to Puerto Rico, Haiti, Jamaica. They dropped a lot of our brothers and sisters over there. So you're either a mix of Taino, black slaves, and Spaniards. And I don't want to get into how, the Spaniard got mixed in there. There was a lot of sexual crimes going on in that time, and that, people never got their restitution for, and, people don't like to talk about, but a lot of that occurred as well. But that's what Hispanic, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, that's what you are a mix of. You're a mix of Tainos, black slaves, and Spaniards. That's what Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are. You're not Spanish. You're not a Spaniard from Spain. Okay? Just keeping it real, It's keeping it a buck. Fred 509 says his victims couldn't escape pictures saying compared to what that nasty does. He's talking about Kenneth Petty. Yeah, he has to upload a picture every single year. That's gotta suck. Nelly says Spaniards are their white ancestors. I agree. That's what Dominicans and Puerto Ricans are a mix of. They're a mix of Tainos, black slaves, and Spaniards. Nelly says, how are they Taino when they were wiped out by the European Spaniards? That confuses me. That's the thing. Nelly. They weren't wiped out. All of the Tainos were not wiped out. All of the Tainos were not wiped out. Not every single Taino was wiped out. That's a falsity. That every single Taino were wiped out. Were a lot of them wiped out? Of course. Of course, a lot of them were wiped out. But every single one were, hold on, we're going to look it up. Were every Taino wiped out? A lot of those brothers and sisters that were Tainos, a lot of them went into slavery. Taino culture was largely wiped out. And I'm not disputing that. Although several groups claiming Taino descent gained visibility in late 20th century, notably in Cuba, Puerto Rico, and United States. Now hold on. Taino slavery. Hold on. Taino slavery. The Spaniards exploited the island gold mines and reduced the Tainos to slavery. Here we go. Within 25 years of Columbus' arrival in Haiti, most of the Tainos had died from enslavement, massacre, or disease. Does that sound familiar? Who else did that happen to? All right. By 1514, only 32,000 Tainos survived in Hispaniola, 1492 to 93. So all of them were not wiped out. A lot of them went into slavery. A lot of them went into bondage. Now, were a mass of them wiped out? Of course. A lot of them were wiped out. But a lot of them also went into slavery. And that's what they're not going to tell you. That's not what they're going to tell you. That's not what they're going to teach you. And mostly, that's what Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, that's what they are a mix of. They're a mix of Tainos, blacks, and Spaniards. They're a mix of that. That's a fact. Nelly says, history books make it seem like they all died after colonization. Yeah, they do. History books, the thing with history, I'm going to keep it a buck. The thing with history tells the story of the colonizer. You got to remember that. Anytime you read history, you got to understand that you're reading it from the perspective of the colonizer. So if you're a white American and you're writing a book about colonization in, Texas during, that time, you're going to write from the perspective of an American colonizer. You're not going to talk about all the Mexican people that were fighting back, that were, doing this and doing that. You're going to talk from the perspective of the colonizer perspective, So when you read history, you got to understand that you're reading it from a perspective of the colonizer. They're not going to tell you the whole story. They're not going to tell you about all the Tainos that went into slavery that they kept. They're not going to talk about all the Taino slaves that they brought to America. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you about all the Taino slaves that they kept there, and they brought African slaves there, and they left them there. They're not going to tell you all of these things, Exactly. Sinclair just said it. History is written by the victors. Exactly. That's a fact. History is always written by the conqueror. It's never written from the loser's perspective. You're not gonna read a history book from the loser's perspective. They're not gonna give you their perspective. It's always gonna be the victor telling you what happened, what occurred, the stuff like that. That's what's always gonna happen, But these are things that need to be talked about. I think the Hispanic people, and we see this in almost the black community, because the black, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like black people don't war with each other over culture and stuff like that, because we have FBA. We beef with continental Africans. We call, I don't know if y'all know this, but FBA, anytime there's like an African that comes to America and wants to act like they're better than us, or act like they're better than foundational black Americans, we call them tethers. That's a whole thing. And then we have issues with the Caribbean community. Like, we have our own battles. But what I see in the black community, or what I see in the African diaspora, if I'm saying that right, or the just the melanated people, we have an understanding that we know we look alike. Like, I know that I could pull up a picture of somebody from Ghana and I would look like them. I know that I could pull up a picture from somebody from Haiti and I'll look like them. We don't suffer from colorism. We don't suffer from I don't look like an African. I don't like this. I don't like a Haitian. I don't like a Jamaican. We understand that there's people that look like us, and black people come in all different shades and different colors, right? But I feel like in the Hispanic community, they have a real, I think they have a real issue with colorism, culture. They confuse nationality with heritage. Sadly, they confuse nationality with heritage and race. Race and nationality are two different things. Nationality, by nationality, I am an American. By race, I'm a foundational black American that comes from Africa. By race, but by nationality, I'm an American. I think that in the Hispanic community, they have a real confusion with nationality and race. That's why you got a lot of Spanish people calling themselves. That's why you got a lot of Hispanic people, rather, calling themselves Spanish when you're not Spanish. And if a Spaniard heard you call yourself a Spanish person, they'd probably spit on you, respectfully. Just keeping it a buck. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sinclair says, like, comment, subscribe, share the content. That was a warning. Warning. Nelly says it's pronounced like diaspora. Like, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce that. Yeah, diaspora. Diaspora, yeah. The African diaspora, yeah. But I mean, I don't think that black people, we don't suffer from that. We understand that black people come in all different, shades. We know that we got dark-skinned people, light-skinned people in every sector. There's light-skinned people in Africa. There's dark-skinned people in in America. This like we're all over, and we understand that there's people that look like us everywhere. We're not sitting up here talking about, oh, I don't look like I'm Haitian. Oh, I don't look like I'm Jamaican. I don't look like I'm from Africa. Like, we're not doing that because we understand that we're a melanated people. You know? And I think it's very disgusting that Cardi B, a woman who made a living, and she's not doing it anymore. And shout out to her for not doing it anymore and finding a better way. But listen, Ma, you were sliding up and down that pole, you know? Middle-aged men shoving a handful of dollar bills up the crack of your ass. But you want to sit up here and act like you better than the Mexican people who work hard, who live a genuine, respectable, honorable lifestyle. How dare you open up your mouth and say that? How dare you? When you were sliding down that pole, how dare you say that? How dare you? How absolutely dare you, Cardi B, open up your mouth and say that it is disrespectful to be called a Mexican? How dare you? Absolutely. You know? But that's just my thoughts. That's just how I feel about the whole situation. You know? That's just how I feel about the situation. But I understand. I understand that, black people, we do kind of have this similar issue. We kind of do have this similar issue. You have the Dominicans. They don't identify as black. Me no black. The famous skit from Godfrey when he was talking about this Dominican people that's blacker than him. Not claiming their African ancestry. They're saying that I'm not black. I don't identify as black. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's absolutely crazy. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this content. That is a warning. Warning. Absolutely. We got 7 people. 7 people. Listen, we got 7 people in here. I need 7 people to hit that like button. That is a warning. Warning. I need y'all to hit that like button. All right, hit that like button. I got 7 people in here. There's no reason why I shouldn't have 7 hot damn likes. Warning. Hit the damn like button. All right? Hit the headbutt the like button. Warning. I need 7 people right now to headbutt the like button. Warning. Headbutt that like button right now, all right? Nelly says, smash that like button, subscribe, click that notification. Exactly. Yeah, good night, Sinclair. I'm about to close out anyway. I've been on here for a good hour. I'm about to close out. Thank y'all for joining me. Salute to Nelly. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to the mods. Salute to Fred 509. Salute to the people in the clouds. I will see you guys another stream, another video. Hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. We out of here, man. Y'all have a good night, man. God bless. We out.
Repping the road, foreign status with my name on their toes. These status alarms me, honestly, put the seat back in the Odyssey.